Alright, g'day and welcome to JoeJoeMoto. Today we're in the shed, we're going to be doing a bunch of work on the bike and I thought you guys might just want to hang out for the day and check it all out. Let's get started. Okay, so it's been few and far between the old maintenance on the KTM. So today's a big day of work and yeah, I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of parts to fit, a lot of jobs to do basically. So let's check out what we're doing today. All right, so yeah, you can pretty well see the first job, right? A big old oil patch sitting under the bike there. This video is just going to be a super raw one. We're just going to be chilling out, having some fun in the shed here today. There's some pretty cool stuff happening with the KTM. You can see the Mini Moto's new little Pee-wee 80 as well, a little ripper there. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of parts in this box here. Yeah, lots of stuff to do. The basics of it are countershaft, seal on the other side of the bike there. We're going to replace the oil. We'll do the air filter and stuff like that. We've got a big ride coming up next weekend. Top shock mount, we're going to be doing that one. Maybe fork seals, front wheel bearings got to be done as well. And my brother, Mr. Luke, is coming over, so we're going to be doing a few things to his bike. He's got battery, some wiring stuff, new headlight. He's trying to go for rego on his bike, so we're going to get a lot of stuff sorted there. Yeah, that's the plan for today. We'll get into that work, and yeah, could be a big day at work, I think. But it'll be good fun having my brother over, just working on bikes, just doing this sort of vlog style. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video and hang out and check it all out. Alright, let's do it. We're finally getting started to work now, and the first thing I'm going to do is this countershaft seal. So I'm over this side, ready to drain the oil. Alright, so we're ready to drop the oil using my cool little cardboard trick into the pan, and that will give us access to do the countershaft seal without leaking oil everywhere, we hope. And Mr. Luke is here, and we've got, hello, we've got a whole big awesome mess of wiring that we're going to start to pick out and go through. The old headlight was a HID, so there's a whole bunch of, I guess you'd call it unnecessary wiring, because we're just going back to a basic KTM light that'll just need normal 12 volt that the bike can produce, and it had some LED indicators, so it's got all sorts of resistors and things in there that we're just going to try and eliminate as much as we can, make it nice and neat and tidy hopefully. So yeah, that's Mr. Luke's project today, wiring, fun stuff. Here's the state of the oil. It's yeah, not so fresh. Alright, so we've drained the oil over here. Now it's gotta get the chain off and the guard here and everything, so I can get to this seal and take the front sprocket and everything off. So we got the classic missing 10mm. I am so organised with my gear. There's a place for everything and everything has its place, and the 10mm is missing, like the classic memes. Got no idea where it is, where I would have put it. Alright, so last time I did this job, I never had the seal picker, so we're going to give this seal picker a try and see if we can get this out now that we've got it all exposed. Oh, look at that! Man, that's like 100 times easier than drilling holes and pulling it out, isn't it? Awesome. Alright, so now that we've got the seal and everything off, it's time to open up the package of goodness, see what we've got in here. Hopefully it's got a few parts that I really need. I can't remember what I ordered, so we'll check out what's in here. So it's an MX Store order. I love using MX Store, they're awesome. Really quick delivery, pretty local here in Queensland, so they're fantastic. I use them for basically all of my ordering stuff. They are joined up with Ballards now, so there's a cool Ballards Gone Riding catalogue. I love looking through those and choosing out some cool stuff. In here we've got exhaust hanger mounts. I'm missing one of those as usual. KTM stuff falls off everywhere. I've got, that is the front wheel bearings. I'll show you that later. They're pretty hammered, so I'll show you that one. Then we've got the top shock bearing mount. I'm not sure, we're going to pull it apart and see if we need that bit or not. And then we've got the kit that we're replacing now, the countershaft seal, and it looks like it's got the part that I need in there, which is really important. And then I just got a spare chain link as well, because I needed one for Mr. Luke's bike the other day and didn't have one, so we'll keep a spare one of those around. So that was what's in the box. Time to keep replacing this stuff. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers to bike work.
Woo! I'm a bit confused about this part now. I'm going to have to do some serious thinking. Or is that serious drinking? Yeah. Okay, a little bit of an update on Mr. Luke's bike over here. All the wiring's sort of sorted at the front there. We're just chasing everything down, seeing where it all goes. And then he's put his new battery in and started to play here on the wiring. And this is the positive wire. It's just fully burnt out. So we're going to have to start checking all the wiring and replacing bits of wire and stuff. Yeah, good times, good times. Alright, so we got it all in. I tried the bigger O-ring like it said in the kit to make a better seal, but that new circlip just wasn't going to go on. I was bashing it all sorts of ways and trying to make it work, but it just wasn't going to happen. So it's all good. New seal and new everything's in there. Now I just got to put the back wheel back on properly and check the chain adjustment, fill it up with gearbox oil, and that's one job done. Alright, there's one job done. Countershaft seal is all replaced. Chains all adjusted, new gearbox oil, fresh oil in, ready to go. Next job is the wheel bearing. Now the front wheel bearing, the other day I went for just a little ride and I thought the steering head bearing was a bit shot or something, so I had a bit of a weird thing, and it's just got a massive amount of play in that wheel bearing. So yeah, front wheel off, replace the bearings. Let's do it. Alright, so the old bearings are knocked out. In the kit we've got 2 new bearings and 2 new seals ready to go in, so we're just going to knock those in and that's job done. Pretty simple one, this one. I love doing wheel bearings. Well, that's the front wheel bearings done. That's a pretty quick and simple job. It doesn't take too much. Just as I always say, the hot tip about doing up the pinch bolts. Get it off the stand, push it down a couple of times, do up one set of pinch bolts, then compress the forks a couple of times again, and then do the other set of pinch bolts so that there's no weird binding or anything like that on your forks. So that's that job done. It's time to start this rear shock mount. The top mount I think is gone, but we're going to check it out. So up in here there's just a bit of play, a bit of movement going on where this shock mounts to the top here. So I'm not 100% sure whether it's the actual bearing or you know, joint itself, or whether it's just a loose bolt, but we'll check it out and see what we can see. Alright, so unfortunately it's not just the mounting bolt or whatever, so we're going to take the shock out, check the bearing or whatever it's called, and we'll see what's going on. Alright, so this is the part we're replacing. It's this little bearing, I guess, Heim joint inside there. Here's the kit we're going to be putting in there. Looks like it's sort of got 2 washers on the outside and then the actual, yeah, Heim joint. I think they're called a Heim joint, something like that. We'll replace, chuck in there and see if it makes a difference. Alright, so for those that have never done this job, quick little hot tip for you. It's got these 2 little, you know, there's the new spacers that fit in, they sort of slide in there. They've got 2 little, I guess, kind of like oil seals, so they just bash out. There's a little gap in there that you can get a nice little screwdriver and bash it out, and then flip it over and bash out the other side. Then you've got, I guess they're like circlips, they're like piston clips almost, like a C-clip on a piston, and they're sort of located in there, and that's what holds the bearing into the center. So we're going to pull those out and then bash the old bearing out, put the new one in and replace all that. Alright. Mucked around with a lot of wiring in the regulator, rectifier and coil and whatever. So, just going to see if start and run. Well, it definitely runs. We got no problem with it actually running. Man, she wanted to go. That was a bit full on. You have the choke on or something? Yeah. Hey, start. There we go. Okay, good. Cool. So it still runs. Yay! We know it still runs. There was a lot of dead wiring in there. It was so bad. So Luke sort of replaced all of that dead wiring, and it was just all burnt up. So it'll be good to check it now and see if anything weird's happened now. But yeah, cool. Look at that bike stand. Whew. Straight from Dairy Queen. I don't know what that is.
Dairy Queen.
What is it? Dairy. What's the thing?
No, Dairy Farmers.
Dairy Farmers. There we go. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, it runs. Yay! Huzzah! All right. So for anyone else that might find this in the search function or whatever on YouTube, I found this really tricky, and I thought I'd better share it so that other people might be able to see it as well. So I got the socket in there. It has two C-clips on either side, as you'll find if you're doing the job yourself. And what I needed to do was, use the vise and push the bearing just one way, just a little bit, one way, and then I could easily pry the C-clip out. Having pressure on it both sides, I just couldn't pry it out at all. So little tip, push it one way just a bit and put a pressure on the other one, but it releases the pressure off of the other side, and it just pried out straight away. So there we go, that's how we got the C-clips out. Now we're going to push the old bearing out and keep going with a new one. Alright, so our next little job here that I totally forgot about, I got some new mirrors to go on because I love my mirrors. They're so handy when we're riding. So special overnight parts from China, and we got ourselves some new mirrors here, just the same stuff. I don't know what it is, but these days it seems like the China stuff seems to be getting more expensive. I used to buy these for like $5 or something like that. Now they're like $15, but whatever. Let's chuck on these new mirrors, and I think I might actually retain this one because it's still working, and keep the other one as a spare. And yeah, just throw this new one on and we'll be able to see behind us nicely then. Alright, nice solid mounting there. It's all set and in the right view. Checked it, made sure it was all good. Nice and easy, good stuff.
The next day.
So we plodded around last night for a long time, tracing wires and trying to work it all out, and doing a bit of fixing of wires down here. Didn't really get anywhere. Neither of us are wiring experts, but now that it's morning, we're gonna start the bike up and test some wiring, because we tested everything without the bike with just the battery hooked up. Thinking now maybe it needs the stator or regulator, rectifier, whatever, something happening to make it all work. So we'll test it now with the bike running and see what we can see. Alright, so we've made awesome progress by starting the bike, which is fantastic. So once we got the bike started and tested a few things, it was just all systems go. Everything worked fantastically. So we sorted out the wiring for the headlight. That's all done. Low beam, high beam and Parker all sorted and awesome. Horn works, kill switch works, all of that stuff. Then went through and tested all the indicators. All the indicator wiring is great and all works. Indicators fit on the back. We just need to get some for the front of the bike. The last thing is tail light works, but brake lights don't. So we've got power going to it. We've tested all that and the power actually goes to it, but the light's not lighting up. So we've got a bunch of wiring in here we're going to test out, and if that's all not good, then it means the actual brake light itself isn't working, which we'll I guess have to replace either the light or the whole system. They're only, I don't know, like $30 or something for the whole thing, so we will see.
I feel I need to reiterate that every time Joe says we, it's actually him. I have nothing to do with this, I do not know what I'm doing.
Yeah, wiring's tricky. Like, it's such a hard thing. You gotta, I don't know, it's a whole different ball game from mechanical stuff. I can hit things with big hammers easily, but you know, getting your head around wiring, just, it's so much harder. But it's all good. We're getting there, which is great. Okay, so with all our bike maintenance done, it's time to hit the trails and have a little bit of fun. Just the Luke in front, the bike all sorted, wiring and everything's all good. And my bike with all the little bits and pieces that I do, all the bearings and whatever. So let's have a little rip around, have some fun.
Underneath here, ignition key, that is actually working. Dash lights come on, mode to calibrate everything. Works, everything works. Temp gauge, speed, distance doesn't work. Clock seems to come on and off with every time you switch it on and off, but yep, all the majors work. We've got horn works.
Awesome.
We've got a kill switch that works. We've got a headlight that might need power to work.
Yeah, I think we'll have to start it. Yep, and there's high beam, awesome, and then we've got tail light and indicators, awesome. Just put the headlight on. So you can see there you go, tail light works. Very cool. Woo!
Awesome. So a big thank you to JoeJoeMoto for helping with all the electric gear. Really
awesome.
Appreciated.
It's so cool having it all working.
Yeah.
Alright, well that's it for our big shed weekend here. We got so many jobs done. Sorting out Mr. Luke's bike with all the wiring was just fantastic. And all the stuff on my bike too. 3 really big jobs and a couple of other little things. So yeah, really awesome time in the shed, just hanging with my brother. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up, give it a like, share it with all your friends, drop a comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. Yeah.